To be reborn, the old must die. Because moving forward in your life, in your business, means old habits have to be let go of. This is Dr. Spencer Coaches. Today I'm going to talk to you about why letting go of habits that no longer serve you is more important than learning new skills. Because when I became a chiropractor, before that I used to party a lot. I was very impulsive, did what I wanted, when I wanted, however I wanted, had that attitude. Don't tell me what to do. I was one of those guys. And even I remember at a Christmas party many years ago, my cousin came up to me. So, Spencer, I can tell you're one of those guys who likes to live life by, you fly by the seat of your pants. I said, yeah, that's me in a nutshell. He goes, I go, why do you say that? He goes, well, people live like that. I bet you're pretty impulsive. Yeah, I just go with the flow. And yeah, I thought so. Well, people who have that mentality tend not to make a lot of money. I said, why are you talking about money? Man, I just graduated college. I'm having a good time. I want to have some fun. Yeah, no, I get it. And he just walked away. It took me many years. That was after my undergraduate degree. When I got my doctoral degree, something hit me. I realized I can't be partying the way I used to till wee hours of the morning. That the people I hung out with that partied also wasn't really good for my mentality, my mental health, my physical health. I got into working out. I began jogging every day, something I'd never done before. I had been going to the gym and weightlifting, but I never got into jogging. Started jogging every single day. I'd wake up early and change my diet, lost weight, and just stopped the partying. And my mind became much more clear, became much more focused. And even still the residues of that I don't care attitude, don't tell me what to do, was still lingering in my personality. And the first job I got was with a very high-level business coach, Dr. Hans Freewiks. And he sat me down and said, Dr. Howe, the difference between a salesman and a doctor is this: the doctor cares, a salesman doesn't. He goes, you do care about people. Well, yeah. He goes, well, you wouldn't have gone to school, taken the 4,000 question board exam, took out all those student loans if you didn't care about people, right? I go, yeah, exactly. He goes, well, we gotta get you to be able to express that care more. And I didn't realize it. All those years of partying, all those years of I don't care, don't tell me what to do, really showed in my personality. And this is what I mean by letting go of habits, because it's going to affect your character. It's going to affect your discipline. It's going to affect your work ethic. There's a saying, the 5 people you surround yourself the most is a reflection of who you are. When I was skateboarding, when I was, 14, first year in high school, my brother was a senior, had a mutual friend who skateboarded, who wanted to befriend both of us because we skateboarded. And then over time, he stopped. And we wondered, why did you stop skateboarding? He said, skateboarding is just for kids. There's no future in that. I said, but we are kids. We're having fun. He goes, I need to grow up. You want to do what you do, that's fine. I'm not judging you. You can do what you do and have your fun, but I need to change. And I never got that. Well, I got that many years later, but back then in high school, I didn't understand what he was saying. What he was saying was he needed to develop a higher standard for himself, a higher value system, a value system of self-respect, a value system of integrity, a value system of discipline. And that's something, as a high school student, I got good grades, I was smart, I was on the honor roll, and I thought that's all that I needed was just to be smart. But without a strong work ethic, without character, life doesn't work out too well without integrity. You got to be who you say you are, do what you say you're going to do, and always be impeccable, because How you do one thing is how you do everything. Whatever you put into something is what you get out of it. If you go into something with a bad attitude, you go into something, say a set of actions to achieve a goal, if you go into it with the mentality of it won't work out, I can't do it. If you believe you can't do it, if you believe it won't work out, you've given up already. You won't even try. You're not going to put 100% into it. And that's what I mean by if you surround yourself with people who don't care about themselves, they don't have any self-respect, they don't have integrity, they don't do what they say they're going to do, they flake out, they backstab. Maybe it's not to that extreme. They're not awful people, but they just have habits that aren't really conducive to a successful life, to producing an outcome that is desired, to get the results that you want. You know, people who drink a lot, working for the weekends, you know, that mentality, you're just living for the paycheck so you can, go to the bar on Friday night. Or, you know what they say, over the hump Wednesday, you go out drinking on Wednesday and deal with it Thursday and do it again Friday night. You know, that kind of mentality, the drifter mentality, doesn't get you to that next level that you want to be in life. Whether you're climbing the corporate ladder, whether you're a business owner and want to scale your business, whether you're a healthcare practitioner, doctor, and you want to see more patients, but you get stressed out because for some reason when you see more patients, it stresses you out and you can't scale your practice then. Maybe you're a poor leader, but you're running a business and you want to hire somebody, but you don't have a strong will that you're a yes man or yes woman and you can't say no. And you're giving them time off. Or you run your business like a mom and pop business and you close when you want to. You close because you don't feel like working. You don't do something that would really help your business because it's not pleasant, it's not comfortable, you don't feel like it. It's, so many of us live by, how we feel, and we always want to feel good and feel comfortable all the time. And the climb, Mount Everest, it's never a comfortable time. You've got to acclimate yourself for at least a month at high altitude, at base camp. You need to learn mountaineering. You need to build endurance and stamina and conditioning. And you need to change your diet. In other words, if you want to get to another level in your life, you need to train yourself. You need to elevate your game. You need to elevate your skills. Not only your skills, but your attitude, your outlook, your belief in yourself, your mental willpower, your grit. There's a lot of high-level business people who run marathons, not because they want to be a triathlon or some marathon runner, but they do it because of the mental vigor, the mental fortitude that it gives them. Any marathon runner, you talk to them, running 20 miles is easy. It's that last stretch at 2 miles. When they're at the 24th mile, it's those last 2 miles that seem to just make you want to give up. And you believe, wow, I can't do this. I just can't do it. I got to walk. I can't do it. Your legs start cramping up because your mind gives up. For some reason, it's always at that finish line that everything compounds and seems like it's the hardest it's ever been, when it's really just the same consistent action over and over and over that gets you to the finish line. Same thing in life. Same thing in any goal you set yourself to, whether it's scaling your practice, whether it's generating a certain revenue, you have a certain revenue goal. When you analyze the state of affairs for your business, you're always looking at what's called the KPIs. That's short for key performance indicators. And what those KPIs are metrics. And the metrics are the numbers. If you ever watch Shark Tank, they always ask what's your gross revenue, what's your net revenue, what's your profit margin, what's your cost per square foot. They're looking at the numbers. That is a measurable, quantifiable system of looking at the state of affairs of your business. Now you can look at your life like that, because you don't always want to look at the subjective nature of things like how do you feel? Are you happy? That doesn't get you there. Nobody's happy all of the time. You can't be in a good mood all of the time. Life can't be comfortable all of the time. You're going to have moments, maybe even long moments of discomfort, of where you're just biting the bullet, where things are not comfortable, they're unfamiliar, you're bewildered, you're trying to figure things out, you're confused, and you have moments of clarity, and you gain some understanding, and there's aha moments, then it gets hard again. Every entrepreneur knows that it's an up and down roller coaster ride. You have good months, you have bad months. How do you maintain a consistent good month? It's through consistency. Consistency of what's working in your marketing. Consistency in what's working in your customer service. Consistency in what's creating a positive rapport, a positive relationship with your community. Public relationships. Public relations is a huge part of marketing. Having your name and face known, branding yourself. Are you doing all the actions, everything you need to do to create the brand that you want to create, the reputation that you want to create? You're going to have to work extra hours. You're going to have to learn new skills, whether it's sales, whether it's communication, whether it's managing, whether it's social media marketing, whether it's learning to understand the books and start doing your own bookkeeping just so you understand the metrics. These are things you need to do as a business owner. Every entrepreneur knows you wear many hats when you open your own business before you make enough money to hire somebody to do your books, to do your scheduling, to do your cashiering, to do the cleaning, to do the filing. So you can make money while you sleep. I mean, that is the definition of being an entrepreneur, is to make money while you sleep. You have a team of people working for you, which means you need to generate the revenue to pay people to work for you so you don't have to. It doesn't mean you're not working. That means you're directing the workflow of your team. And it is something where you can delegate certain work tasks that are important but not urgent. You can schedule those out, or if it's urgent and not important, you delegate those out. So you have a system of creating a team where everyone has a responsibility, and you direct that responsibility and oversee that responsibility without being domineering, without having a superiority trip, without making people unhappy to work for you. You're not going to make people happy like going to a wedding kind of happiness, or celebrating a party or something. It's more of a rewarding experience where you give credit where credit is due. As a leader, you give acknowledgement where acknowledgement is due. You measure the workflow, the work performance of your team, and this may be uncomfortable for you, taking the role of a leadership, because you got to stay on top of everything. You don't have time to dilly-dally. You don't have time to close your store, to close your business when you want to. Being an entrepreneur doesn't mean running your business like a mom and pop. There's a book called The E-Myth, and why most small businesses fail is because they're not systematized. People run their business, their small business, like a mom and pop, because that's the attitude you develop from the people you hang out with. And put it off till tomorrow. Why worry about it now? Why are you killing yourself? They don't understand. I know when I opened my own business, none of my friends understood what it was like to be an entrepreneur, what it was like to be a practice owner. I began to talk to other business owners, not even practice owners, and there was a relatability, a certain level of understanding that only they had. It doesn't mean we're better than people. It just means there's a language and experience that we have that only entrepreneurs know. You know what I'm talking about. It's much different than being an employee. And it's much different than just showing up for work on time, doing your work during a set of hours, and then going home and clocking out at 6 p.m. It's much different. There's a higher degree of accountability. And if you don't spend time with the people who hold you to that higher standard, it can be very challenging to hold yourself to that higher standard, because it's very easy to say, you know what, I'm just going to sit around today and watch TV on Saturday. when you should be out at the golf course networking and marketing, over at the Chamber of Commerce meeting, or joining the Rotary Club and things of that nature, when you should be working on your social media campaign, when you should be, on the phone with your social media manager, when you should be answering emails, following up with clients, working on new marketing tactics to generate new business. When you're an entrepreneur, you realize you're working 24/7 because you're working on something you love. You're working on something that you really invested a lot of time and energy into because you really saw a bigger picture for yourself and the people that your business impacts. This can't be discussed with people who are not entrepreneurs. They will never understand. They won't understand why you're working on a Sunday and a Saturday, why you're staying an extra 2 hours after the office closes, why you're not taking a lunch break, why you're giving up a certain activity to go to a weekend workshop to learn a new skill. They're never going to get that because for them, just showing up for work, doing your work, then going home and getting your paycheck at the end of 2 weeks, collecting a 401k, that's all there is. Believe me, I thought of doing that. It's much easier. You have much more, a greater peace of mind, as stressful as those jobs can be. You don't know the stress of being an entrepreneur. Surround yourself with other entrepreneurs. Surround yourself with other leaders, people who take charge. I have a friend who's a real estate agent, and I met him in a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu class, and I said to him, how do you generate new clients? Because I have my father is a real estate agent. I'm part of his team. I won't say his name, but they're part of the Intero listings program, where basically you sign up for a listings program. They generate listings and you just call them up. So, well, have you ever thought about going to, say, a Rotary Club meeting or Lions Club meeting or Chamber of Commerce and networking yourself? Where is your primary area of sales? And I said, why don't you go to that city's Rotary Club meeting? And he did. Goes there every week to this day, and he got new clients out of it. And now he's known as that real estate expert. Even if you're not buying, but you have some questions, because they're going to refer people. Hey, I know this guy who's an agent. He knows a lot about mortgage rates and interest rates and yada, yada, yada. And you might want to talk to him, and I'll give you his card, because that's what networking is about. It may not be the person you know. It might be the people they know. So you start to hang out with people who are driven, people who are disciplined, people who have vision, people who are focused. The only difference between a highly successful person and a person who is average is their ability to maintain focus. Paula Abdul, I watched an interview with her. She said, the only difference between me and other people is I'm just hyper-focused. I get an idea and I don't stop until that idea is manifested. And I figure out every single way to manifest that idea, to make it happen. And they only hang out with other people who are supportive of that idea. And that's how that idea gets generated. Her music albums, her tours. But I'm just a regular person. She wasn't stuck up. She didn't flaunt her money. She wasn't demanding on her staff or anything like that. She said, I'm just more focused. When I have a goal, I just get fixed on it and nothing distract me from it. And she surrounds herself with the people that are supportive of achieving that goal. When a team wants to win the Super Bowl, they train harder. They watch videos. They study the other team's defense patterns and their offense patterns. And they figure out ways to overcome them. And each team has their own set of plays. The quarterback has to memorize every single team's set of plays, so they know how to defend against it and know how to overcome their defense. This is something they study time and time again. You'll see boxers study their opponents' fights. And they'll spend hours and hours and hours watching their fights, watching how they throw a punch, what they do when the right cross is thrown at them, how they respond. So when they enter into the ring, they're prepared. It was in the Boy Scouts, there's a saying, a scout is always prepared. You got to develop habits that promote growth, that promote a set of integrity, a high set of standards that you hold yourself accountable to. And it's easier to let go of bad habits than it is to learn new habits. Most of the time, it's the bad habits that are holding you back. You already know what you need to do. It's the bad habits that keep you from doing them. Sleeping in on Saturday, eating more than what your body really needs. Overeating creates a sense of lethargy. It'll make you tired. It'll tax your energy system. You may think you're getting more energy by eating more, but it's actually weighing your body down. Smoking cigarettes, drinking, partying, things of that nature cloud your mind and therefore cloud your judgment. They weaken your will. There are habits that you can let go of. Daydreaming, looking at things that are not practical. There's a saying in a lot of success circles, cynicism produces success. And it isn't negative skepticism, it is a sense of optimistic realism. In other words, you're not smoking pipe dreams, because you're looking at the numbers. You're looking at something tangible, something quantifiable, something measurable. And when you begin to focus on tangible things, the road becomes clear of what action steps that you can take that'll actually work, and not just dreaming about it. You'll be around dreamers who have great ideas, but you realize it's impractical. It can't be done. It's not profitable. It's not scalable. You're going to look at your own habits. Sleeping in, closing your office when you want to, taking long lunches, surfing the net, going on Facebook during lunch. Little things like that seem normal. Hey, everybody else is doing it. Why can't I? Always stay focused on the goal. Keep your eye on the prize. And let go of anything that keeps you from staying focused. Whatever that is in your life. And you're going to find your state of ease. You're going to be in a state of ease when you go put forth the effort. It's not going to stress you out because you don't have these other things burdening you. When you don't have burdens in your life, things that weigh you down, things that cloud your mind, things that slow your energy down, things that make you tired, things that make you lazy, you'll find yourself more focused, have more energy, and have more willpower to achieve the goal that you want to achieve, to get the results that you want to get. I can show you how to do that. These are things you can learn on your own, but many more times than not, I find blind spots. You have blind spots. Look, you know what you know what you don't know, and you don't know what you don't know. These are the blind spots, both in your habits, in your character, and the tactics and strategies that you're applying. We need to look at the numbers of your business or your goals to create a practical path to get there and turn that practical path into a habit. So it's not something extra you need to do or have to do. It's just something that you do to get the job done. And therefore, you don't get stressed over it. It's just what I do. Go ahead and click on the link. You'll get a free 2024 business plan. You're going to get a coaching session, a free coaching session, and a high performance nutrition plan that's going to shred pounds off of your gut, that's weighing you down, slowing your metabolism so you have more energy to work. This way you can have more fun, make more money, and have more time to spend with the people who matter. This is Dr. Spencer Coaches. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.